All right, it's 16 minutes past 8 a.m. on the smoothest dial on Radio Smooth 98.1. You know, we love music and we love life. My name is Ayokunmi, and you are welcome to the entertainment side of life on the Smooth Breakfast. This is the Grapevine, where we get to talk about all things entertainment, whether it's movies, whether it's music, whether it's all the gist that's been going on all around, what your faves and celebrities have been up to. And yeah, we tend to shake tables, and in some cases, we break them as well. Today, just might be a day for that. You never can tell. The only way you can find out is if you keep it tuned to us right here. It is an interactive session. So that means you get to share your thoughts with us. You get to share your opinions, your perspectives as the show gets along. All you need to do is send those thoughts into us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. 0809 444 0981. That is the WhatsApp number. We're also streaming on YouTube. So if YouTube is your thing, it's your bag, all you need to do is search for Smooth 981 FM Lagos on YouTube, and you can catch the live stream right there. Joining me as they always do on a Thursday. Yes, the trio is complete this morning. James Silas and Oris are in on this one. Good morning, guys.
Yeah. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, everybody, wherever you're listening from. Thank you very much for always joining us on this wonderful show. And yeah, let's do this.
Indeed. Oris, how you doing?
Not bad at all. Good morning. Well, I guess what can I say? We are back.
Yes, indeed. We're back, thick as thieves on the grapevine. And it's great to have you guys on and talk about a lot of stories making the rounds. We're going to begin talking about AY. Yes, AY and AI in the same story. Now, a comedian and actor, AY Makun, has expressed outrage over a doctored video circulating online which falsely depicts him kissing actress May Edochie. Now, the manipulated clip created using AI emerged after AY shared footage of himself and May traveling to the UK to promote his latest film, The Waiter. Now, reacting to the controversy on Instagram, as I expected that he would, the award-winning filmmaker strongly criticized the misuse of AI to spread misinformation and harm others. Now, he questioned why young, talented Nigerians are employing their skills for destructive purposes rather than positive innovation. That's just the way the world works. There are some people who are just dedicated to mischief and all the wrong things. But man, I saw that video, and if one isn't properly discerning, you would think that AY and May, what's going on exactly? But this issue of deep fakes, guys, it is something that we need to be very, very careful about, because that video wasn't properly done. But we've seen videos that were done, and if you did not have a very good eye, or if you did, or you went in the know, you would have believed what was happening in the video was real life.
I mean, it's crazy. I saw that video as well. I thought it was really vile. I thought it was wicked for the person to, come up with that kind of video. It's crazy. This whole AI, the conversation is endless. What AI can do and what AI cannot do. I mean, truth is that um people can actually put these things into better use as against just making, because it's not even funny. When I saw that video, I just thought it was really, really, it was ridiculous, and which is why a lot of times when the conversation about regulation of social media comes up, some people are for it, some people are not for it. I mean, and because of stuff like this, traditional media would never come up with, you know, the risk of coming up with this type of narrative, and you just cannot. You will not see somebody, any TV platform, any newspaper, any, just come up with this, as in, the risk involved. You're going to get shut
Serious
down your station
sanctions.
or whatever. But social media is open, is a free for all game, and anybody can just stay in their living room and just think about something and just throw it out. It looks like, oh, it's going to trend, it's going to be, but truthfully, a lot of times people that even do these things are even faceless. So, but I mean,
Right.
if you know your name, if your father born you well, put a face to it and say, I did it. Let's check something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Oris. I mean, we know that AI these days, I mean, it does a whole lot of good, and it's been used in different sectors, even in entertainment as well. I mean, there's talk about, oh, what it can do in the world of movies and all that. And yes, there will be people who will use these things for mischief. But isn't there also a possibility that some people can also use the excuse of AI to hide behind certain acts? For example, someone does something, he knows he did this thing, a video comes out, and then he goes, "Oh, it's AI, it's doctor."
Well, I think that is already happening. I think there's been at least one person. I don't want to talk about it, but I think there's at least one person who has said something like this. So yeah, so I guess it is both ways, right? There are people who will use it for mischief. There are people who will use it to hide mischief. So I guess it's actually both ways. But I think what this means, I mean, because to be honest, now there is no going back. AI is kind of here to stay, sad to say, you know. What we should be looking at is how do we manage it now that it's here. Maybe I don't know how regulation would work for something like this. I have no idea, but maybe something worth looking at. Then even minus regulation, which is mostly connected to the government. I think we speak a lot about, especially all of us who are in the entertainment and media space, we speak a lot about media literacy. So I think that with the advent of AI, it's almost like it's a necessary skill now. You need to be able to tell, at least to some extent, that you know what I'm watching isn't real. The same way you see fake news. And you can sometimes you can say, you know what, I didn't see it in this platform, I didn't see it here. So I can tell that until I get more context, I can't believe this bit of news. You understand? I think we would need something like that for AI to say, hey, these are certain things you can look at and say, hey, and say, maybe not maybe just maybe this isn't quite what's the word now? This isn't quite real, you know. Otherwise,
Right.
I think we are heading for supreme chaos. And AY's video is only just going to be it's only just going to be the start. So we need to figure out something that maybe a generalized program that helps people see that stuff isn't particularly real going forward. Because yes, this is the new world. AI is going to be here for a mighty, mighty long time.
Hmm. This is the new world, and it's important to know that everything isn't the way it seems. AI is going to be around for quite a while. There's been talk about people losing their jobs and all that. You won't lose your job to AI. You probably lose your job to someone who knows how to use AI. But please, I'm begging you all, use it for good. That's all I can say on that front. All right, let's talk about Afrima, guys. And an interesting piece of news coming out here. The African Union, that's the AU, and the All Africa Music Awards, as AFRIMA, they formalized their long-standing partnership in promoting Africa's creative and cultural industries, particularly in the field of music. Now, the MOU aims to strengthen the already existing partnership since 2014, when AFRIMA launched its first award ceremony that honors exceptional African musical talents and the promotion of African music on the international stage. Yeah, so there's been a long-standing partnership, but now it's been formalized. The AU and AFRIMA coming together, shaking hands formally to take the awards to another level. Now, we talk a lot about our own awards, our indigenous awards. We talk about Nigerian awards, what we need to do to, put ours right there on the map, what we need to do to put Nigeria first. There's also from an African perspective, and AFRIMA does that. But James, what does this mean going forward, and how do you think this is going to make a change to how big AFRIMA is or how big it will be?
Yeah, first, I think this whole is just to make it or more or less sensationalize or make it, out there in the news. This partnership has been there for a bit now. So I think what they did now is just renewing the partnership or renewing the long time relationship that they've had together. So, and one of the things about Afrima is that it really, really portrays the unity of African music or entertainment generally. And this will always mean that when it comes to funding, I mean, the interesting thing about Afrima and the whole AU concept of their relationship is that they can get funding from any part of the country, both from nations,
Continent.
yes, on the continent generally. So I just gives it that whole continental African feel, which is what the platform represents. So I think it's a good one for them, and I hope that it goes as planned.
Yeah. I think James has said something I wanted to actually say, which is the the idea of this signing. It's probably just like media stuff so that, people are reminded that, hey, Afrima is still here, because I don't think they did one last year. So I think that's what this is supposed to be, to kind of people are aware that, hey, this still happens and it's going to show up again, because Afrima has been in bed with the AU since the very beginning, and I feel like I've heard this particular news maybe like 3 times over the past 10 years or so. So I'm not, so this isn't quite big, to me. So I think the more valuable thing is to understand or to know what the dates are for this year, and what the plans are for this edition. Where it's going to take place. I mean, I think AFRIMA has always taken place in Lagos, but I think they had interest, or I think it was in Ghana one of these years. But anyway, they've had interest across the continent. So yeah, for me, it's like that's what I'm looking for. The more practical news, not what I figured I've always known about, which is the AU and the AFRIMA, what's the word now? Connection. It's always been there. So this doesn't really, I don't know, surprise me at all. But yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing the nominees whenever it is they do decide to release that. I think just last week we were discussing headies. So it looks to me like this 2025 might be a consolidation year of our awards, the Nigerian one and the African one, although both of them are done by Nigerians. I think Mike Dada is the CEO of AFRIMA, and Ayokunmi runs headies. So yeah, I mean, this is solid, and I'm very happy to say, by the way, that I do have an award from AFRIMA from back in the day.
Woo!
You didn't know this?
I had to add that. No, I had to hype. I had to hype.
What I do actually, 2015. Although they stopped the award the year after I won, which is rather sad. Yes, but I did win Entertainment Journalist of the Year in 2015 at AFRIMA.
And that is fantastic stuff. Before we leave this particular story, there's something I'm actually curious about. Talking about, African unity, the music and all of that. Now, it is not news that there tends to be this, should I say, rivalry when it comes to African music. Oh, the Tanzanians beefing these people, South Africans beefing Nigerians, Ghana beefing, and so on and so on. Yes, there's beef and all that. But despite all these issues, and I'm using that in quotes, I'm using that very, very loosely here. Is there a serious should I say future when it comes to African artists actually doing bits, working together more closely, and leaving whatever beef you have, Ghana jollof, Nigerian jollof, South Africa, blah blah blah? Are we going to get to a point where it is going to be such a mainstream thing when we're having African artists from different countries coming together, doing music a whole lot? Now we talk a lot about, we're doing collaborations with the Chris Browns of this world, the Rihannas of this world. But when are we going to start, or should I say, get to the level of, we're doing more collaborations with artists from other countries within Africa and so on and so forth? Let's leave all the jollof wars to one side.
I mean, that's...
okay, yes.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So I think there is... you need to understand how these things work. And I think the first thing to think about is money. Unfortunately, the capital, the head of capital in, I guess, maybe the world, or at least in the Western world, is the US. You understand? So first things first, understand that, a lot of money flows from the US. But a lot of money is the US. 1, 2, the entertainment capital of the world also is the US. So what it means is that there is always from now to the end of time, going to be heavy interest in cracking the American market. A collaboration with Rihanna will always be more valuable in financial terms and in cultural capital terms than a collaboration with the newest artist from, I don't know, Djibouti. From Burundi. It's just how it works. I mean, you can speak politically, you can be sad about it, but that is the fact. That's just how it works. So what this means is that collaboration will always be a thing that people want to get, so always want to get. It's like, let's say in the 80s, when MJ was king, you wanted a feature film with MJ if you could crack it, because even in the US, they wanted it. So you, of course, if you're African, you also wanted that as well. So that's Definitely. First things first. Then secondly, but this doesn't mean, of course, that we can't develop, something within Africa itself. But unfortunately, we are in such, what's the word now? Nigeria, for instance, to take our country, is very culturally insular. What this means is that if you go to a club, I don't know, tomorrow, Friday night, and you hear 100 songs, you can be assured that Nigeria and America are going to get maybe 98% of the songs. Maybe you hear 2% of like a song from Kenya, maybe a song from South Africa or whatever. But the entire thing is going to be either between what we have here or what the US has. So we are a very culturally insular community when it comes to music, minus of course the US and maybe the UK. But every other country has like a very tiny percentage of the Nigerian mind. You understand that the Nigerian airplay and Nigerian airplay. So it's just how it is. So what this means is we can probably improve more on how that works. But there are also what they are minus the cultural restrictions. There are also business restrictions. I'll tell you that I think back in the day when I was an editor for music in Africa, as music for West Africa, I would hear about songs that say Davido has done with a guy in Kenya, a guy in the Gambia. Nobody in Nigeria has heard about those songs, but they've done those songs. They're on YouTube, but nobody here has heard about it. So yeah, so what it means is that maybe the label there, for instance, now doesn't have money to come and push those songs within the Nigerian market, which used to happen before.
Right.
Remember back in the day when P Square did songs with Rick Ross and a few of those other guys. Those songs were big in Nigeria, but nobody knew about their existence in the US. So until all of those things are kind of worked out within us here, I think that would always have this issue. So maybe something like Afrima presents an opportunity for more people to understand this. But unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure what kind of broadcast deal Afrima has, such that it seems almost, it's really rare for you to hear that there's a song from, or rather there's a remix on stage that then becomes big. Unlike say how Mamas was, because of course the power of MTV back in the day, where you had the song with R2Bs and One Day Cole, which first took place on the Mama stage and then became a big hit across the continent. So this is kind of stuff that things like Afrima, maybe like Headies too, can kind of like work out. But there needs to be some kind of business framework for stuff like this to be sustainable.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, Jim. Sir, Oris, beg your pardon. Let's take a quick break right now. We'll come back in. We'll continue on the stories. This is the Grapevine on the Smooth Breakfast right here on Smooth 98.1. Let's run outside before I boil.
Okay.
Oh, it's normally it's cold. Today is hot.
This year, I don't know what's going on. Crazy. Man. All right, welcome back into the Grapevine on a Thursday morning. This is Smooth 98.1. You love music, love live station. You love entertainment as well. And that is what we're all about on the Grapevine every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:15. If you're just tuning in for the first time, you are most welcome to the entertainment side of life on a Thursday morning. Ayokunmi right here. Alongside me are James Silas and Oris. We are talking about everything entertainment. Guys, good to have you back in.
Yeah, we're here.
Alrighty, so you can join us this morning, share your thoughts with us on the stories, and let's get your perspective. Break some tables if you need to. 0809-444-0981. 0809-444-0981. That is the WhatsApp number. Share your thoughts right there. YouTube are streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can drop your comment there as well. I'll take it alongside the WhatsApp messages. Tayo coming through as he always does, says AI wants to ruin AY. I mean, shocked me as well. It says, Nigerian police, over to you. After enforcing third-party insurance for cars, Grammy, step aside. AU and Afrima are shaking hands. It's a welcome development for the industry. It says, Oris must have been awarded Critic of the Year.
Journalist of the year, please, not critic. You shake my shirt.
And then he says, yes, RIP to Irv Gotti. Yes, I mean, if you are a hip hop head or in the 90s, 2000s, you definitely would know Irv Gotti. And you can't think about Irv Gotti and not think about Murder Inc., Ja Rule, and so on and so forth. He passed away. I
I'm
actually
saying,
just saw that this morning. Really, I haven't really gotten into the entire story, but sad one there. And yeah,
yeah,
so keep those
at
messages coming
54.
in at 54. I mean, relatively young,
Yeah,
if you think
really
about
sad.
it, relatively young. Sad stuff, sad stuff. Anyways, let's get back into the stories. And we're heading out of Nigeria briefly. We talked about this on Tuesday when Iraba was on. And an update came on this. And I'm so glad I have both of you on because I know you're going to have your own views, which I always welcome. Now, it's about Kanye West. Yes. Now, the story says, and I'm quoting here, for clarity, my wife is the most Googled person on the planet called Earth. Now, Kanye has been boasting about the viral sensation his wife, Bianca Censori, became after wearing and I'm throwing quotes here, invisible dress on the red carpet at the 2025 Grammy Awards. That's what he says in the story, invisible dress. Now, he posted a screenshot on his Instagram story, showing Google Trends with Bianca Censori Grammys dominating the search results, outpacing Grammy winners 2025, which is wild, which is wild. I mean, it just goes to show you that, nudity, sex, and all that, it will always sell. No matter what it is that you are doing, it's always going to sell. But on the other hand, I mean, I think it's plainly obvious that whatever Kanye and his wife do, it's just about let's keep our names at the top of the search engine. Let's just be relevant. And I don't know why Kanye needs to do that. Bearing in mind, I mean, he's Kanye, amazing music maker, amazing producer, and all that. He's only second to Jay-Z in terms of Grammy Award wins. He has seen it all. He has done it all. Why is there this need to use Bianca? Because many people have said that Bianca doesn't want to be there. And frankly, I tend to agree because have you seen the look in her eyes in most pictures? Like, man, this guy has something on me, but I just have to do it. I don't know, guys. Just my thoughts.
No, but Kanye, when you say Kanye, is Kanye like, but what's Kanye without controversies like this, And the fact is that I don't think that he's making her or forcing her to do what she's doing. But if you check, the attention is actually mutual as far as the situation is concerned. Now, the truth is, before now, we didn't know the Bianca lady. We didn't know her until Kanye, you know, maybe
Came into the
married
picture.
or came brought her to the picture. Yeah. And if you go back in time, you see that Kanye's trajectory when it comes to the people that he's with, there's always his influence on them. Look, remember Amber Rose? Remember that
Mm, mm,
crazy
mm.
photo of him grabbing her behind on the red carpet? If you go, you just see that Kanye has never had um any normal relationship with any girl or any woman when it comes to his relationship. So he's crazy like that. Look at Kim. When he came into Kim's life, he changed Kim to her dressing, her dresses, everything changed. Made her to start dressing in just one color. Kim is probably still dressing like that, if I'm not mistaken. All of those whole packing designers here, he sort of stopped all of those things. So he always has that influence. He seems to be to feel like he knows it all when it comes to fashion and how you should look or whatever. So, and he has that control on Bianca right now. It's incredible. Look at the Grammys. The woman was literally most Googled, even more than Grammys itself. Do you understand? So even people that were trying to check Grammy, they were checking Grammy to see what they said she did or how they said she showed up. Kanye did not. I heard that Kanye did not stay actually for the main show. He came for the red carpet, did all that that he did, and then disappeared again. So you can only imagine what the deal would have been. Like Kanye is Kanye. He's crazy, and the earlier people understand that, the better. Because whenever you hear Kanye is coming somewhere, people want to look out for what is going to happen today. What is he going to do today?
Mm.
I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw what that whole red carpet shenanigan. But yo, at the end of the day, I just be like, okay, it's Kanye, let it be.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oris, it's Kanye, let it be. You agree?
I think it's not Kanye, by the way, it is Ye. Let's not forget. The man has changed his
Kanye,
name.
Kanye
It's Ye.
West. Kanye
It's Ye.
West.
It's Ye. You're arguing
I
with the
mean, that's
person.
the
The man
stage
has changed his
name.
name legally. He's changed his
That's
name
the stage
legally
name.
to Ye. So it's Ye. Don't not Kanye. I think at the what's his name? Don Lemon, the former CNN guy, was trying to interview him when he arrived at the Grammys. And he was
Yes.
like, the name is Ye. The guy was calling him Kanye. He's like, no, the name is Ye. Anyway, on
True.
this subject, fact of the matter, I mean, I personally believe that I don't what her name Bianca Sensori isn't being forced by Kanye to do what it is she's doing. And it reminds me, in fact, this also reminds me of a line from 12 years ago. So the weekend, back when he was young and unknown, he has the song where he has this line. He says, "Bring your body, baby, I can give you fame." So I think that there's something working out here where it's like, okay, the Kanye West relationship with women over the years since he became a big star is this: you are attached to me, you become famous. It's just like how it is. I mean, Kim was really famous, to be honest, but then Kim got into high society because of the Kanye relationship. Then you had Julia Fox, who became, I think, flavor of the week for like a year or two. She's still popular a bit now. And now you have Bianca Sensori. And as you can see, it looks to me like there's a strategy in that their house that Bianca becomes super famous. And I guess this is the strategy they figured out that's going to get her there. I think she has a degree or so in architecture and design or something. That is not the most, what's the word? But that's not the most bring you out there kind of skill or knowledge to have. Kim was a reality star. That's already famous. Julia Fox is an actress. That's already so. We don't quite know what Bianca has, but what we do know she has is a body, right? And so that is what is like Kanye and her promoting. If you see the video of when they arrived, when they're taking photos, two of them were standing together. She was backing the camera while he was facing it, and then slowly she dropped her, I guess, her coat jacket or her coat exactly. You get, and then suddenly, of course, they taking more photos. He now gestured to somebody on the right who came and dragged her coat away from the what's they called from the image. And so what you had was photographers taking photos of him and her without the coat on the floor. And then he moved away, and then he started taking photos of only her. So I'm saying to you that I believe that these people have an arrangement where Bianca is supposed to become famous, and the way they told her to do this is through her constant nudity in public, and that's about it.
All right. Xavier on WhatsApp says, the king of Delulu, invisible dress. Guinness World Record should give her an award. I pity Bianca. She looks bondage. Just give her a few years from now, and we'll hear another PDD story.
That one is 34, 33 or something. So people stop talking to her like she's a kid. She knows what she's doing.
Well,
absolutely.
Right. Okay, let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about Don Jazzy and Wizkid. There's a photo that they shared that they took together. I'll take you to his Instagram page. The Mavens founder shared a photo of him and the superstar sitting together with an elephant and eagle emoji. And of course, as expected, the photo has stirred a lot of reaction from fans all across. Now, if you remember last year, Don Jazzy and Wizkid had sort of a fallout after the latter went on the mini rounds, throwing a jab at Don Jazzy by calling him an influencer. And of course, this led to Jazzy unfollowing him on social media. Now, then Wizkid fans, Wizkid FC, in usual fashion, they made it worse as they dug up a 2020 tweet of Don Jazzy declaring himself an influencer. Now, it seems like they've been able to reconcile, and I think Ira Star kind of had a hand in this one, the release of our album and all that. Anyways, it seems like they've buried the hatchet, and Don and Wiz are on the same page once again.
Let me tell you something. There's no beef. People that have money don't beef. They don't, no enemies. No, don't worry. Trust me, it's just showbiz. Anything can pop up at any time and everybody benefits from it. So trust me, there was no bad blood. There was nothing. They are cool. Trust me. So there's no question of beef, all right? It's just business.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. I feel the same way. Like I don't believe that there is, I don't know, some kind of beef between the two people, to be honest. Like James has said, on a certain level, those guys are not petty like that. Unless, of course, otherwise proven. But I think this is really nothing, to be honest. It's really just fans making a lot of noise. But the guys themselves are likely cool. I'm sure they both have their numbers. So they can fix whatever it is they have. This is not a Burna Boy and the video issue.
Indeed. So, James, more or less, so are you saying that both of us can beef, bearing in mind that we don't have money on that level? Is that the issue?
No. Like, I'm not on your level, bro. You don't have money. I'm not on your level. You can beef me. It's okay. You can beef me, but I won't even notice.
Oh, really? You still haven't sent that money to my account, too? You haven't sent that money to my account yet, too?
Poor people don't like rich people, Ask Oris.
Shots fired. Okay, let me take some messages. Tayo says, Ade Kanye West, fully clothed, and Mrs. Ade Kanye is doing the opposite for another purpose. Wizkid is doing the rounds after Palm 1. It's now Don Jazzy's turn. There's no shame. Those AP reporters that disrespected Babyface, I hope they're enjoying the cancel culture. Serious stuff. Oluwaseyi says, Murder Inc. and G-Unit beef and rap wars in 2000s was legendary. You just had to be there. You just had to be there. As for Kanye or Ye, he isn't okay by any standards. He's a great producer and talented musician, but he thrives on attention and he milks it to the fullest. The women he dates over time have been an instrument to milk this attention. Kanye's bipolar or something, isn't it? Make Kanye two-way transparent hoodie, trousers and sunglasses since he loves attention. Not a sight I want to see, though. Sorry I suggested it. Oluwaseyi, I forgive you for putting that image in my head. I forgive you, don't worry. Tali says, while Cassie was also an adult, not to say that Kanye is forcing her, though. Well, let me not shake any more tables. We need to go, guys. Thank you so much, Oris and James Silas, for joining me this morning. Always a great and fun time having you guys on the show.
Absolutely, guys. You can join me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, that is, wherever, as James Silas. Just search for James Silas. You can even search for James Silas Smooth FM. You find me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
All right. As always, we'll be back next week. And it's Oris, catch Oris on the Instagrams and on Twitter. And yeah, Facebook as well. Oh, and yes, LinkedIn. I'm getting my LinkedIn mojo back. So yeah, you can always say hi. Maybe preferably on Twitter, actually. And I'll say hi back.
All righty. Nice one, guys. Have a great Thursday and a great weekend as well. And thank you for being a part of the show. As always, keeping it tuned and sending those messages in. We appreciate you each and every single day. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1. The Smooth Breakfast is kicking on. There's great music coming your way, getting you into a Throwback Thursday.